Alright, this should be the last last battle for me. Just under 7 days. Wait, no. Hold on. Oh god. Oh, the frames. The glorious frames. Got all the boss feats that I need, got all the sector feats except for this one. What else? Got 3 stars on every single battle. And I have all the galactic feats, whatever you want to call them. Fuck it. Maybe one day. Alright, she's not coming back. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's not good. Okay. Well, I believe all we needed was 2 anyway, so. If she comes back, I'll just... almost forgot my process. Eventually she'll win. You had full turn mirror. Or the most full turn mirror anyway. No. Almost. Finally, holy crap. Hey Talzin. Hey Talzin, do you have any idea what you just did? Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, he didn't get to health steal because he was dead. You have the most turn mirror. Oh, that's a dick move, but it didn't matter. Actually, you know what? Since I'm pretty sure that I'm done anyway. Oh, I guess Jolie doesn't care. Jolie's just gonna Hit the zombie with the naughty stick. And that's red crate in 1 week. That said, I'm not happy with where Conquest is right now. Um, just because like every single time they change up the bosses, all that really changes is it just puts a lot of stress on you to figure out how to beat the new boss feats for the new bosses with your roster. To be like, oh shit, how do I get red crate? There's too much pressure on getting red crate as opposed to getting like gold. What was it? It used to, yeah, 44 razor cards, same as it was last time, and 90 for her. And then you go down to gold, and it's 40. You lose 4 razor crest shards, which is fine. It's like, okay, so that means I have to buy 1 more node than I would have had to buy. Where she drops down to 65, so you have to buy 5 more nodes than you would have had to buy, which is just stupid. It's like, okay, so basically I get the red crate or I can go fuck myself. Um, yeah, like, and it doesn't help that, oh, when the next character comes in, that we'll be able to just, still be able to buy cat shards because you have to buy 5 of them or buy them from 5 different nodes. And yeah, they'll be a little bit cheaper, but not much. They're still going to be 400. So they're going to pull away from whatever the new character is that replaces cat. Uh, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, they'll be. You'll have to take away from the new character that replaces cat instead of buying shards for whoever that is. You're just, yeah, you're buying cat shards. Um, yeah, 5 times. So 4,000 currency just gone, or sorry, 2,000 currency just gone, because you got the gold crate once out of 3. So no, it's like, yeah, if you do it 3 times out of 3, then yeah, you might as well just wait for her to go free to play. So, but once you figure out how to do that once, it's just a matter of, okay, do I get the same number of data cards that I need? Do I get enough merchants that have the frenzy or the tether so that I can cheese out thermal detonators? Which is what I did here. I was just like, wait, I can just put the frenzy tech on and then throw in Watt, and Watt will use a special ability on the first turn, get the bonus turn at the beginning no matter what, and then I just take my bonus turns, or my not bonus turns, but 100% turn meter. They immediately take a turn with my 3 bounty hunters that can throw thermals all over the place. Yeah, I geared up Zam to gear 8 just because I was like, oh, well, she doesn't even need to be high gear if she's going to be taking a turn immediately. So yeah, I have a gear 8 Zam, just throws out her thermal detonators. Dengar, gear 11, throws out his. Greedo, also gear 11, throws out his. And then Rebels immediately come back and just slaughter them. Similar thing with Vader. I did Darth Vader in the lead. Karth, Canderous, or not Karth, just Canderous, Mission, and Zalbar. And then Watt again. So that I didn't have to burn, because you don't have to survive the battle. And even if you did have to survive the battle, it's like, okay, that slows me down a little bit. But yeah, the only one that really cripples is thermal detonators. Like having to survive the thermal detonator battle is the only one that would get shut down. Uh, yeah, evade attacks in battles you won. It's like, okay, so slap an evasion leadership in the leadership slot, and then Mandalorian armor, Hermit Yoda, and Watt with Nest, and just turn Nest into a demigod. It's like, it's But that's how I did these anyway. Yeah, I just figured out different things I could do for all the different bosses, same as I did last time. And it's like I did literally the same thing this week as I did last week, only faster, obviously, because last week it took me till like the last day, and this week it only took me half the time. So, as far as like keeping it fresh, it's not. Removing deployable cooling systems just made it more of a chore. Um, and like I don't know, like I mean I know deployable cooling systems was really OP, but man, I think not having deployable cooling systems made this game mode stale out a lot faster than having it would have. So yeah. So I don't know. I guess changes you could make. You could make deployable cooling systems be uh, instead of it being something that has a potential to come up on every single data card node, have it just be guaranteed it's going to come here, or have it be that it can only come in the very, very end, where it's like, yeah, you can get, one of the four dots that sound really OP, but when you consider the fact that you have to take four dots just to apply them, they're really not that good. And then you'll have a deployable cooling systems, and then you'll have just a random two dot. And that could be one thing, or have it be that there's only one. Have it be that, um, yeah, you get to the end of sector 4, and you get, or yeah, or maybe have it be, where is it? Here. Yeah, have it be here. Have it be like cat shards, razor crest shards, and then for either crystals or maybe for these, um, either one, honestly. Uh, I'd be willing to pay either if it was like, hey, 250 uh, star tickets, whatever you call these, you can buy deployable cooling systems blue. But it's only in Sector 4 and Sector 5. At the one sector, yeah, and it's only at this one, the one that has the cat shards and the razor crest shards, the one that you cannot miss. So that's one suggestion. Another suggestion would be, first of all, get rid of, what is it called? The one that Republic has, where they reflect all damage. That's just so dumb. Literally every Galactic Republic team, except for the bosses, have that. Where it's easier to fight the boss than it is to fight just a normal Galactic Republic team. Like, where is it? Somewhere over here, there's a gas that, like, it took me so long to kill this gas that's over here. Where are you? I know you're here. Alright, maybe it was Sector 4. Yeah, here it is. This guy. It took me so many attempts to kill this guy. Like, I think the way that I eventually did it was I just did a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren solo. I was just like, to hell with it. If I only have one person, then I can't have anyone accidentally die. Um, and that's how I finally got three stars on that one. Um, which I didn't even need 3 stars. I just got it for cherry points because I was like, I don't know. What was my other suggestion? I had another suggestion. Fuck. All right. What is it? Yeah. So basically, you need this. It needs to be like 85 or 80 in this one. Honestly, it needs to be 85. It needs to be 85 because it's like if you miss red crate on the first one, you're probably gonna miss it on the second one and the third one too. Uh, like if you don't figure out a strategy to get red crate, uh, like it's already tedious enough. It's already tedious enough. Like, 'cause even when deployable coding systems was here, it was kind of tedious to get red crate, but it was doable. So it's like if people are putting in the time to slug through, like I don't think you should punish them for for being able to beat it with a 4.5 million GP roster just because they abused deployable cooling systems. Like you shouldn't, because that's the problem with it is because it's starting to feel more like where is it? It's starting to feel more like this, where I feel like I'm being punished for not having 8 million GP. Where yeah, like the 5 best scoundrels in the game. You're not a scoundrel. Where's the scoundrel? Oh, these two. Shit. Who do I take out? Five best scoundrels in the game. And it's like, oh, well, you were supposed to do it with the five best scoundrels in the game mixed with the best bounty hunters in the game so that you could have Mando's annihilate. So it's like, okay, pick your poison. Who do you... I'll pick this guy. Oh, bad RNG. He got ticked off. Let's see what we can do. I should have healed. Not that it's going to make a bunch of a difference. Come on, give me a bonus turn. Okay, bonus turn. I'm going to try to kill you. Didn't even scratch it. So, I believe Arnold was able to beat it with a very similar lineup, but with an R8 Mando, and with focusing Grievous a little bit earlier. I have not managed to get Grievous past 50%. Like, even when I focus Grievous early on, it's just, I haven't been able to do it. And my nest is Relic 8, by the way, so... My nest is a literal demigod. How many Relic 8 nests are in the game? No. I don't know how you do Relic tier list. Yeah, it doesn't tell you how many players have that, though. Player data, star distribution, gear level distribution. Oh, whatever. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, the point I was trying to make is Emphas Nest is, I don't know, probably the best scoundrel in the game right now. Like, I don't think that's an unfair thing to say. Like, Chewie and Han aren't really the best. I mean, they're better characters overall, probably. But that's because they're attached to a better team. Oh, whoops. No, that's because they're attached to a better team, which is Rebels. Like, they aren't super good because they're good with scoundrels. They're super good because they're amazing with Rebels. But like, if you're like, oh no, put together the best scoundrel team in the game, it's like it looks very similar to what I just did. I mean, you have some leeway on that leadership, like maybe a Kira team instead for protection recovery. And then the only other thing that I can think is, oh, we'll make it a bounty hunter leadership that you can get to really quickly with Mando on the team, Rusty Mando, and he'll just annihilate somebody. At which point I'm like, okay, well that looks like it was what you were supposed to do because of the ridiculous health on B2 and the ridiculous health on Grievous, which is only going to go up every single time he takes a turn. So I feel like I'm being punished in that one for not having an 8 million GP roster, where I just have every single useful character geared up and ready to go. Like, okay, you scroll down, and now we're in trash. Like I had what, 40 or 50 usable characters, and then everything else is just trash. Where it's like, or it'll die in 2 seconds if you put it up against, the relic characters. It's just not gonna work. And Conquest is getting to that point too, where I just feel like if they ever do make it to where you have to survive the thermal detonator feed in order to have it count, then it's like, okay, you have to have relic bounty hunters or relic Jawas in order to do anything. If they make it so you have to survive the damage over time thing in order to make it through, it's like, okay, I had an option for that. It's just it was going to take longer because I was going to burn through stamina. Because I had the option to win the fight. It's just I would have had to hit Merciless Massacre on Vader. Literally the exact same strategy, only hit Merciless Massacre. And then the other problem was I would also burn through Frenzies if I did that. So I'd either have to keep getting Frenzies, or I would have to wait for stamina recharge so that Vader's the fastest person on the field again. So it's like, and then like just having more, yeah, having every single useful character in the game relic means like I can grab a full team of Jedi attackers to do. Which feat is it? Is it this one? No, I think it's the other one. Anyway, but there's one feat in one of the sectors that's full Jedi, and one feat that's full without any attackers. So you can have a team that's just like a whole bunch of Jedi tanks and healers and supports with not a single attacker, and then have all your Jedi attackers get together and do the Jedi one. And it's like, and that allows you to do feats at the same time to get it knocked out quicker. Um, but like the only period of conquest that's fun right now is that initial burst of getting to Sector 5 and completing it, and that's less fun if you have to rush to do it. If you're like, hold on, I have to beat this in as minimum days number as possible so that I have as much time as possible to knock out all the other feats. And you saw the extreme of that, where last week I didn't quite beat it fast enough, so I had exactly 1 day left between me unlocking Red Crate and the end of Conquest. Whereas this week, now that I know what to do, I zoomed through it and beat it in the first week. Doing literally the same thing just again. And I'm gonna do the same thing next week if it works. Like if I get all the right data cards. Didn't get to use any of these purples. Like booming voice. Like I would have maybe used that if I'd gotten it super early, but I got it after Ray. I was like, I don't want to remove 3 data cards in order to use this. I don't want to, yeah, because like look at that. I have 5 to work with. Like so, I have 5 additional data cards that I can remove next week. Plus, technically, I only have to buy 3 of them because I already bought all the cat shards so far. So was that 525? Okay, so I have a lot of room to work with basically next week. Uh, but it's like, well, if they're going to continue to have the economy for the characters be what it is, then I don't want to use any of that on gear. And that was really cool for a while, being able to use this on gear on well, okay, that not that one, but you know what I mean. Like when actually good gear would show up in this store, being able to buy it with these and having just so many of these to spare, that was nice. And now you have none. You can exchange 10 cards, which today this one I did 5. I ripped 5 cards off during the entirety of this event. Because at the end of the last event, I had literally no wiggle room to work with. I could not have ripped a card off if I wanted to. I just didn't have the currency. So if you get down to a point where you're killing things too quickly and you're like, oh, I wish I was a little bit weaker so that I could get some of these feats knocked out, it's like, too bad. You don't have the currency to rip these cards off. Like, I don't know, maybe like have a thing right here that says leave the card on, but deactivate it. Like have a deactivate tab that you can just click, like an extra checkbox, or maybe have it on this side so you don't accidentally hit the X, but um, so that like you don't end up in that situation where you're like, oh my God, I'm too strong, I'm killing everything too quickly, and I don't have the currency to rip this off, because you don't want to have you don't want to have it cost currency to put data cards on. But you also can't if they don't want to make it free, which they should make it free or at least dirt cheap to rip data cards off. But if they don't want to do that, they can at least put like a thing over here that says deactivate this card, and you can just reactivate it at any time to be like, hey, for a couple battles I don't want this to be active, but I don't want to spend the currency to rip it off because I know that that's Such a good card. Like Ruthless Debilitation. Enemy falls below 100% health. They are inflicted with healing immunity and 2 stacks of armor shred, which can't be dispelled or resisted. And it never goes away. It doesn't expire. So literally, anytime the enemy falls below 100% health, they're never getting that health back. And you saw with Night Sisters that yeah, if they come back to life, they only keep the armor shred. They can heal once they come back to life. And you saw with Night Sister Spirit, if they get, if they increase their max health, that's kind of a way that they can heal. But they aren't healing the health that they already lost. They aren't healing back up to max health. They just have a higher max health, and that's being added to the pool they don't have, if that makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, this one, if it was like this is a huge one where it's like, hey, I might end up killing everything too quickly because they fall down below their max health and their ability to heal themselves just disappears. And I might have been counting on that to keep them alive just long enough for me to, land the right number of debuffs or the right number of attacks at a turn. Ray uses her ultimate ability and just literally first turn, I haven't even moved yet. She's already below half health and never gonna return to full health. Like that is absolutely massive. Um, so that's something that needs to get fixed. What else? I already said things that you can do. I had another suggestion. It doesn't really work here. Just this one's completely silly, but this isn't a quality of life thing. This is just a funny thing that I would want to see. Is like silly ones where you complete the hero battle. One of the rewards that they give you is okay. I guess it doesn't show anymore. One of the rewards you get is a data card that costs nothing. It's just a free data card that you can put on, but it also does nothing, and it's the same for everyone, no matter. It's not randomized at all. It's like everyone is going to have the same free data card rewarded for boss 1, boss 2, boss 3, boss 4, boss 5. And it's just something like something silly. Like, since we're not going to get Lego Force Arena or whatever it was called, we can bring in some of the silly extra effects from what do you call it? From Lego Star Wars, like disguise. Like you go into battle and everyone for both sides just has a mustache and glasses. Maybe yeah, silhouette was one. But yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff that's completely silly and does absolutely nothing, no effect on gameplay whatsoever, and it's just a free data card that you can either put on or not. You can just choose whether or not you actually apply it. And that one should be free to take off, no matter what they decide. For these other ones, like um, I don't know. It's like, but yeah, this is, yeah, I almost didn't get, which one is it? Offensive buffs. Yeah, I only saw one offensive buffs this time around, and it was in Sector 4, near the very end, and it was the only offensive buffs I saw the entire time. I was getting really worried there. Um, but yeah, just because you take out, what is it called? Deployable cooling systems doesn't mean that things are going to be good or that it's going to keep things fresh. Because I ended up running literally the same thing that I was running before, just without deployable cooling systems. It was like, hey, just put 2 stacking offense on there, and then every single time I take a turn, I get just like ridiculously strong, and I can just one-shot planets, like, and then mastery, so that you know max health and all that sort of stuff goes up as well eventually over time. Which you would think that having a 30% chance to gain 15% mastery would be better than a 100% chance to gain 5% offense, but no, apparently 15% mastery is nowhere near as good as 5% offense. But you live and learn. The cleanse is nice though. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Those are just my thoughts.